We're going to talk about sleep and why sleep is so paramount to a healthy body. Did you know that if you're sleeping less than 6 hours a day routinely, you're 2.5 times more likely to develop cardiovascular disease or die of a heart attack? That sucks, right? So we want to avoid the that's the pits moment. So how do we do that? Well, number one, you've got to find a way to have a stress-free environment in your home. So if your bedroom is chaotic, if you've got papers and bills and stuff on your countertops, if you've got kids coming in and out at night, that's a hard one to avoid, by the way. If you've got a spouse that's like kicking and snoring and they're banging into you at night, that's kind of a tough one, right? You got to figure out how do you balance that. So number one, there's no magic pill. I don't care what it is that's on the market. There's no magic pill to erase life's weird moments, like the spouse's arm smashing into your head, right? That's going to happen. So you've got to learn to create for yourself a safe zone. You've got to have a stress-free zone because you need 7 hours of uninterrupted sleep. Hard to do for some people. So you need to make it a priority to figure out how to do that. So with that in mind, I would recommend look at your room. Take a step back, look at your sleeping area, and analyze, is it chaotic? Is it a mess? I mean, for instance, I look at my own room at home. I'm very, very clean. My wife and everything is like it's very clean. And the reason is I want stress-free. I don't want chaos and clutter. But if your environment is something that's imposing on your mind chaos or bills sitting on the countertop, or things that you need to be doing as soon as you wake up, you've got a stack of stuff to do, your mind is analyzing that. It's going to think through that all night long, and it's trying to figure out where to compartmentalize that in your prefrontal cortex. So it gives you stress even though it's not on the front of your mind. You're not even thinking about it, but your mind is stressing about it. So eliminate that. You've got to do it. Second, get rid of things like, for instance, the UV light producing things. Anything that's going to imitate the sun's rays. So that means the television that's on the background when you're trying to sleep. Find a way to eliminate any additional light sources. You may want to create some ambient noise, or in this case, I'm going to recommend you're going to be using things like soft gels. Serenity soft gels are awesome. They do contain a lot of different proprietary little compounds that induce feelings of relaxation, and they also induce greater and more profound sleep. That's huge for an overall healthy body. In fact, there's a number of studies that show that if you're sleeping less than 6 hours a night, like I mentioned, you're not only 2.5 times more likely to develop heart disease, but here's a really crummy one. At the end of a given year, if you're sleeping less than 6 hours, that acute increase in stress leads to an average weight gain of 12 pounds. So if you're sleeping less than 6 hours a night, you're likely to have gained an extra 12 pounds just by not sleeping. You didn't change your diet, didn't change anything else. How lousy is that, right? So if you're someone who already struggles trying to maintain a healthy weight, please make sleep a priority. So that's where these Serenity soft gels come in. I recommend them mainly because they're not addictive, they're inexpensive, they're super functional, and if you're someone who has a hard time maintaining and getting good healthy sleep, please make these a part of your routine. If you're someone who can jump in bed and you crash and you're out for a good 7 hours, maybe they're not necessary for you. If you don't need it, don't take it. Does that make sense? Okay, so with that in mind, you got to make sleep a priority. From day one of this program and for the rest of your life, please take a step back. Look at how you are. Look at your life. Look at chaos. Look at your car, right? Find healthy, stress-free zones. And for me, I'll give you a personal one. I like to have a clean, organized car because I spend a decent amount of time in my car. That may seem weird, but if you get into any environment where there's chaos or clutter, it imposes on the mind that it needs to be organizing this stuff for you mentally, even though you're not even doing anything with it. So you need to find ways to organize and declutter. And in my own life, I had to make that a priority because there are certain parts of my life that weren't organized. And I found that when I did organize them and did declutter those things, that suddenly my sleep got better. My stress levels dropped. My acute stress moments dropped, which then meant my level of cellular toxin, which normally would have been building up, diminished, which then means you feel healthier.